Hey everyone, we are super excited to be at Long Point Provincial Park for the very first time.
Long Point Provincial Park is located about an hour and a half from London and 2.5 hours from Toronto. This is the fourth oldest provincial park in Ontario and has over 1.5 kilometers of sandy beach on the shores of Lake Erie. It's also located within a designated World Biosphere Reserve and has one of the largest bird and waterfowl migration and staging areas in North America. This park is also home to a bass fishery with excellent fishing opportunities in Long Point Bay. There are over 250 campsites divided between the 4 campgrounds, including the old and new park. On this trip, we stayed for 4 nights for an extra long Canada Day weekend, so come along and see what we got up to.
As always, our first stop upon arrival is the water filling station so that we can fill up the trailer, and this water filling station has one hose and it is threaded. It's on the driver's side of the vehicle, so as you can see here, we had to go through our compartment instead of the other side, which is easier, but it will do. And here is a look at the dump station. It's one lane, and there is a threaded hose and a garbage can and a big, huge loop so that tons of trailers can be parked here waiting to dump or fill up with water.
The park office was open when we arrived, so I went inside to check in. There was a small store area with souvenirs and some essential camping gear if you needed anything. They also sold firewood and ice here.
All done. And I got my sticker. The park has gone paperless though, so we didn't need anything for the car or the post. And I've got a map where she highlighted where our site is, so we are all set. And on the way in, if you get past the gatehouse, they also have 2 water filling stations, so this might have been more convenient, but just something to know if you're coming here and want to bypass the first one. We are on site 346, and while it's not the best site in our rating scale, it definitely isn't the worst. There are so many pull-through sites here that are very open and not private at all. So although we are right beside the comfort station, we still feel like we've got some decent-ish privacy here, and Alan's gonna park a truck at the front of the site, so we think we can get it closed in a little bit more, but let me give you a quick tour. So as you can see here, we've got basically just a little field or something in between the next site, and you can kind of see the site behind us, but they've got their laundry lineup. Over here you get a glimpse of the comfort station. And then here is our site. It's actually quite large and level and has decent-ish privacy, so we would give it probably a 2 out of 3, especially when you're looking at all of the pull-through sites back here, which just seem like you're camping kind of in a big open field. Not our site preferences, but maybe you like that kind of site. Good morning. It's my first time out of the trailer this morning. Alan's already been out and about, but now it's my turn to go and explore the park. So our site is located right beside the comfort station, which is a very popular and busy place, especially in the mornings. This is the second time they've cleaned it today. In the new campground area, they have 3 campgrounds with sites 1 to 458, Turtle Dunes, Monarch's Rest, and Firefly. We are in Monarch's Rest. And right when you enter into this campground area, they have a huge garbage and recycling sorting area that you can leave your trash and recycling. The sign here says ticks capable of carrying Lyme disease have been found in this area. Take precautions when walking. Visit the park office to learn more. We will not be walking in there. Site 300 actually looks like a pretty nice electrical site. It is very contained, nice and private, level and large. Each of the campground loops here have an entrance to the beach and they are numbered. We are currently looking at number 8. The water, if you can see it beyond those people there, is quite rough right now. Now we're gonna go check out the beach. And there is a second comfort station in the other campground that has showers and washrooms for men and women. Aside from needing maybe a quick cleaning, they actually look pretty nice. And a good thing to note is that these ones are significantly less busy than the ones located right by our site. So it's worth maybe coming over to the less busy ones. And at the end of this campground, they also have a really big parking area that is campers parking only for access to the beach if you do want to drive down.
P11 is also where the dog beach is, so you can bring your dogs to go for a swim past this sign.
I'm also noticing a lot of great non-electric sites down here by the beach area. So if you want to be closer to the beach so that you can spend most of your time there and just have a quick walk back to your site, they have lots of options and they all look pretty great, pretty private, and a lot of them are very level as well. Site 404 looks like a pretty nice site as well because it's got kind of jungle vibes with all the big trees and vines in the back. Very pretty. I've noticed that some of the beach entrances do have the blue mats for accessibility, but not all of them, or maybe they're covered with sand because the sand's blown over. You can see here that it has kind of blown over on this one too.
There were a number of vault toilets located throughout the park, but they don't get a thumbs up from me because most of them were pretty smelly. Now, if pull-through sites are your thing, this park had plenty to choose from, and they accommodated rather large trailers and fifth wheels too, making it easier to park and set up. There was also a playground by the Firefly Campground that was pretty large with a jungle gym, slides, swings, and a basketball net. The park had a big boat launch area with a fish cleaning station, toilets, and plenty of parking for trucks and boat trailers too. Plus, they even had an overflow parking area.
Well, we are on our way out of the park because somebody forgot coffee. And so that's basically lifeblood, and we need to go procure some ASAP. So we're on our way out of the park. We're going to see some attractions as well while we're out. I think there's some hiking trails as well as a nearby brewery that we're going to check out too. One thing I noticed when we got here was just how far the old park is away from the new park. And when you're booking it on the map, it looks like they're much closer than they are. We almost ended up booking in there, so I'm really glad we didn't because we are here with our friends this weekend and it seems like it's a bit of a hike. We're driving through the Cottonwood Campground now because we wanted to come and take a peek and see what this one is like. But the park really looks pretty similar to the other one. The sites are very similar. And this one is radio free and generator free. We did notice that while we were driving through the Cottonwood Campground, it did seem like the roads were much narrower and the sites seemed to be crammed together a bit more than the newer campground. And we did not find a dump station in here. We suspect that the dump station at the newer campground is located before you get to the gatehouse, so that if you're staying in this one, you can just go there, fill up with water, do your dumping, and then come back to this campground. So that's what we suspect. If we're wrong, let us know, but we didn't see one, so that is what we're going with. If you know us, you know that we love our craft breweries, so we had to go visit Charlotteville Brewing Company, which we've been to before when we were staying in Port Burwell, but it was much closer this visit. I think it was only about 30 minutes from the park, and we were already in Port Rowan getting coffee, so it was only about 15 minutes from there, so we just had to add it. And so now our next mission is to find something to eat. We have made it to the home of the original dill pickle fries, and that is exactly what we came to get. I saw this on social media a while back, and I knew as soon as we were here, I had to have it. So this is where we are getting lunch today.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, the wait here was pretty crazy. We weren't even here at prime time. We got here around 2 p.m. and waited over 20 minutes in line just to order. Then after we ordered, it was about another 15 to 20 minutes waiting for our food. They did have umbrellas you could use while you waited in line.
So these are a regular dill fry and then a footlong that I added bacon and cheese to, and also pickles and lettuce.
The fries were pretty tasty, but later that weekend we tried the buffalo chicken poutine that our friends got, and I think that was even better. I would also skip the footlong next time and just get tiny portions instead of their regulars because it was just way too much food, but I did enjoy trying the dill pickle items. And after that, we waited in a short line to get back into the park and made our way to spend the afternoon down at the beach. And Alan may have been at the beach physically, but I don't think he saw any water because this was his setup. But he didn't get burned, so it worked out. The next day, I had a slow morning but decided to set up the Blackstone to make some breakfast outside while Alan was out filming. I got out our new table since our previous one broke and set up my cooking station.
I woke up this morning and I had a plan. I am making BLTs, except I realized I forgot the L. So it's going to be bacon, tomato, and cheese sandwiches. And they're going to be delicious because I'm using this thick cut smoked bacon and it smells so good.
I was right. It was a delicious breakfast sandwich, which I enjoyed in a shady spot with my book. Just a few minutes down the road is Big Creek National Wildlife Area.
It is gated off, and I think that is to protect the wildlife. So we are about to go in and head to the viewpoint.
After you, my lady.
Thank you. Now, although Long Point Park doesn't have trails, you can come just down the road and they do have this beautiful walking trail where you can go and see some different birds, turtles, frogs, dragonflies, muskrats, and so much more. This is actually the longest freshwater sand spit in the world.
Plus, if you've got your mobile device on you, I'd recommend checking out the Merlin app so you can see the birds in the area. It helps identify things and keeps things very interesting.
A couple of important things to note if you are coming here. 1, there's lots of goose poop on the path, at least on our visit. And 2, there's basically no shade whatsoever, so make sure you have an explorer hat like Alan and sunscreen. Also, probably wise to bring some water. We actually did that this time, so we came prepared. So further into the trail, there is another viewing point that gives a beautiful overview of the area. It's right by the water, and there are tons of birds flying by. They even have some little bird houses along the trail. Well, I think this is where it's going to end for us because it does look a little bit overgrown on the path back there. And with all of the signs back at Long Point saying that there are ticks in the area carrying Lyme disease, we don't want to really risk it. So we're just going to head back. But it was a beautiful area to come for a nice stroll. And it was very leisurely, no rugged terrain. It was pretty level.
Then it was time to visit another local brewery, Ramblin Road Brewery Farm.
All right, so it's $13 for a flight of 6, and they're 5-ounce pours. So that's quite generous for the price of $13 per flight. Big price to performance ratio here. And as the responsible passenger, I'm gonna drink most of it. Alan's doing some tastes, and then he's gonna get some cans to go of the ones he likes. And that's how we do breweries around here. This one looks like a really great brewery. Their kitchen's closed today, but they have tons of different snacks inside that you can get. And they had some really interesting chip flavors. Plus, they have a potato beer, and it is delicious. Well, if we thought it was bad yesterday, today is like 10 times worse to get back into the park. We are lined up. It was almost 2 kilometers away of a line. And so everyone is just kind of crawling along here. If you do leave the park on a busy weekend, such as the long weekend, it may take you a long time to get back in, and there really is no way around it because they don't have a bypass lane for those who are staying at the park who can just easily get through. You just have to suck it up and wait in the line. All right, so we're officially in the park again. It took us 45 minutes to get in. There were staff members right at the entrance who were asking you if you had a reservation or if you were camping here before they let you in. And if you didn't or weren't, they were redirecting vehicles to leave. So that was a huge ordeal. I guess it's expected if you're camping on a long weekend or a really nice weather weekend here. But we're back in, and now we're gonna head to the beach. We're now back at the park, and it's time to go enjoy some beach time. We're not usually beach people together. Alan doesn't like the beach, but we are working on our setup so that we can enjoy some shade when there isn't any available. And this little umbrella thing with that chair works pretty good, especially because today isn't windy. We have had a very low-key morning today. Alan went out and did his YouTube video. I slept in until 9 a.m. and then got up and got things ready to start making breakfast on the Blackstone, and I made us egg, ham, onion, and cheese scrambles, and they were delightful, very delicious. And now I'm getting more comfortable using the Blackstone and setting it up and starting it all by myself. So I have some ideas for some creative foods to make in the future. But we're having a very low-key day today because it's kind of rainy right now. There's a lot of people leaving, it seems, from the campground today. A lot of people have been clearing out. We're just going to take it low-key and have a nice relaxing day because we do have to pack up for tomorrow. There's supposed to be a big storm tonight, and we don't want to wait and pack everything up in the morning soaking wet. Down in the day use area, there is a huge parking lot, so lots of parking available. There's multiple entrances to the beach. They have a comfort station and plenty of garbage disposal units so that you can put your garbage. There's no need to leave it on the beach. And they have a little trailer down here that sells some merchandise like souvenirs, beach gear, and ice cream. We decided to come over to the Long Point Bird Observatory, and inside they actually have binoculars that you can use to take with you on the trail to see some birds. We didn't do that, but we are walking the trail now, and Alan has his Merlin app ready to go to see if we can find anything interesting.
We identified a total of 15 different birds here. Maybe there's even more, but overall this was a really nice experience.
And it's not too far from the park, so you could actually walk here if you felt like it, or you can drive. There's a parking lot located across the street. Well, it's our final day here at Long Point, and that means it's time for me to let you know what I thought of this park and our experience here. I think this is an amazing park if you want a beach vacation or a beach camping weekend. The beach here is fantastic. I also like that it's really close to nearby attractions. So we went to the Bird Observatory. There's some cool food trucks and places to get some unique food items. And there's a little grocery store nearby. Plus, it wasn't too far of a drive from some breweries, which we love to add to our itineraries. So I did like that it was conveniently located to other attractions. A positive about this park too was that they had some really great sites down by the beach area that were more private and closed in, and you had really close access to the beach. So if you wanted to be spending your time at the beach, it was less of a walk. And the park staff really did their best to keep the comfort stations clean. For the most part, they were pretty clean, but on the negative side, they were always really busy. I also didn't love that they didn't have a lot to do inside the park, so there were no trails or anything like that. You really had to leave the park or spend your time at the beach. We're here on the weekend before Canada Day, so it was a little bit busy on the Saturday and Sunday with lineups getting back into the park. And one day it took us 45 minutes to get back into the park. So I think on weekends where there are nice weather conditions, this park may be really busy to get in and out of. So that's just something to know because it is very popular for the beach. And if you're looking for more private sites, I would recommend not booking right by the pull-through area because these ones seem to be a lot more open. However, if you do like open sites, then the pull-through area might be perfect conditions for you, and they can accommodate up to really big fifth wheel, big rigs in there, where some of the other sites cannot. And a final thing I didn't really love about this park was the fact that it only had one dumping station, and for a park of its size, I feel like it needs to have at least two. And not a negative, but just a fact, is that the cell signal here is very hit and miss depending on where you are in the park. Regular cell signal is not the greatest here. Overall, we had a really great time here, and I think that this park is excellent if you are a beach goer and love to spend time at the beach, because the beach is the biggest draw here. Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along with us and checking out Long Point Provincial Park. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because I have even more camping videos coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.